Hello everyone, my name is Paige and today I have a pretty massive book haul for you guys. So this book haul is going to be broken up into 4 different parts because I've gotten books from 4 different places. I have a huge book outlet order that I got from Black Friday, so I'll probably go through that first. And then I also bought some books on Amazon, and then I got some stuff from the Scholastic warehouse, which I'll talk about more about that in a little bit. And I also got a couple books from a used bookstore that's really close to my hometown, so yeah, just a lot to get through and I'm very, very excited about it, so let's jump right into it. So if you're aware, Book Outlet had a 30% off book sale over Black Friday, like Cyber Monday, that whole thing, and I got, I think, like 15 books for $40. I also got free shipping. I had like a coupon or something, and literally I was like adding all this stuff to my cart and the total went from like $80 to like $45, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I got a ton of stuff that I've been wanting to get either for a while or stuff that is like brand new to me. So let's run right through these. Some of these books are kind of like on this like similar theme. I don't really know how to explain it other than like they're all by the same author. And I've been talking about this author and this series for a while, and that's Tamara Pierce. So one of the first books I got was Wolf Speaker. This is the second book in the Immortals series. I'm trying to collect all the Tamara Pierce books. I don't really care if they match or anything. There were a ton of them on Book Outlet that were really cheap, so I got like a whole bunch of them, and I'm actually going to go through those first. But Wolf Speaker was one of the first ones I got. I've actually already finished this series, and I talk about it in my November wrap-up and December TBR, which you can watch somewhere here. There'll be a link. I also picked up Tricksters Choice, which is the first book in a duology. The second book is Tricksters Queen, which I already own and I had bought at a used bookstore a little while ago. So finally picked this one up too. I really like this new cover because the old covers I wasn't a huge fan of with that girl on the front. Like her face was just like so big. So I really, really like these new ones. I also got Tortall and Other Lands, a collection of tales. I know this kind of is a mashup of like a bunch of different characters all together. So it says on the back, collected here are 6 wondrous shorter tales from the land of Tortall, featuring previously unknown characters as well as old friends. So I've heard really good things about this. I want to read everything in the Tortall series, so obviously had to get this one too. In my last Book Outlet haul, I had picked up the first book in the Becca Cooper series called Terrier. And then I also got the second one, which is Bloodhound. And then also the third one, which is Mastiff. So now I have the entire series, and actually all of these match because I got them all from Book Outlet, so they all are the same edition, which is pretty cool, but again, I don't really care if any of these match. I just want all of them. Again, this series is set like 500 or so years before the first series, which features Alana, so you can kind of read this really whenever, but I think what I'm going to do is read through the entire Tortall series, then read these as a way to kind of like go back in time. And just so I don't get confused with all the current events that are going on too, but I'm very, very excited to have both of these. So that's all the Tamara Pierce books that I got, and now we can move on to books by different authors. In my last Book Outlet haul, I picked up Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, and then this time I picked up Wind Witch because the paperback was really cheap. I want all of them to match. I want them to all be the paperbacks. And I know these series, at least the first one is getting a cover redesign, and I actually like the old one better, so I wanted to make sure I got it before there was a redesign. And I finally want to get through this entire series. I've read the first one, but it was like a really long time ago, so now I finally want to get to this one. The next book I picked up was also part of a series, and I haven't read the first one yet, and this one is The Reluctant Queen. This is book 2 of the Queens of Renthia? I think I'm saying that right. This is by Sarah Beth Durst. And the other one that I have also is like a mass market paperback like this, so I again want all of these to match, so this one can go on my bookshelf with the other one. I've heard really good things about this series. I've also heard really good things about Sarah Beth Durst's work. I'd really like to get to this series because it's fantasy, as dragons and royalty, and I just love anything that has to do with that, so I'm very, very excited about this. And then also on that same theme of like fantasy and queens, I got a copy of The Queens of Innislear, and this is by Tessa Gratton? I think it's Gratton. This is a massive book. Like, it's ginormous. I got the hardcover book from the library like a couple weeks ago and never got around to reading it, but the paperback was really cheap on Book Outlet for Black Friday, so I was like, okay, I'm totally gonna get that. And I think there's a sequel too, but it's not out in paperback yet. But I've heard really good things about this series, and it's just massive, and I love really thick fantasy books that have royalty and stuff, so I can't wait to get to this one too. Okay, another one that is a sequel is Traitor to the Throne, which is the sequel to Rebel of the Sands, and this is by, I think, oh yeah, Alwyn Hamilton. I've actually met her. I have my other copy signed, my copy of Rebel of the Sands, and I really like these new covers much better than the original Rebel of the Sands cover that they had originally put out. I'll put a picture of it somewhere here, but I like these much better, and this again is like a really massive book. And I really want to get to this series because I've heard really good things about it, so of course had to pick this one up. Oh yay, okay, I'm really excited about these next two. So in my last book outlet haul, I ordered Reawakened, which is the first in a series by Colleen Hook. I think that's how you say it. I obviously saw that Book Outlet had the next two in the series, which is Recreated and Reunited, and I am really enjoying this series so far. I really loved the first one, so I can't wait to read these two. I'm going on a trip later this week, so I'll probably listen to them on the plane or something, or maybe just take these with me and try to read them, but I'm just so excited, and I love these covers. I think they're so stunning, so I really can't wait to finish this series. Okay, again, another book that I had ordered in my last Book Outlet haul was Flamecaster by Cinda Williams Chima, so I got Shadowcaster, which is the sequel. Again, paperback, super cheap. If you know me, I keep saying paperback specifically because I really prefer paperbacks to hardcovers. Number one, they're cheaper, and number two, I just really like how they line up on my shelves like this. Like, these are a bunch of arcs, so they're all pretty much the same size, but like, it's just so nice, I think, when the paperbacks all look really nice next to each other. Hardcovers, I always end up either like screwing up the dust jacket or something, so I really prefer these. And again, these got a cover redesign, which I totally love, so I'm very excited about starting this series as well. I think I might have to wait a while though, because I have a lot of other stuff that I want to get to first. Alright, this next book I picked up, I think if you know me and my reading habits lately, you'll kind of see for obvious reasons, and that's Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendara Blake. I sped through the Three Dark Crown series and really loved it, and I've heard from other people that they actually like this series a little bit more than that one. Obviously, I guess this is going to be really good, and I'm really excited to read it because I really like Kendara Blake's writing. I almost got the sequel, but there was only one left, and Book Outlet was having problems with their website, so I didn't manage to score that one, but I'm very, very excited to read this one. This stack just keeps getting higher and higher. This is why I'm doing this video on the floor too, because like, there are just too many books and they're so heavy. Alright, this next one I got is one that I've heard quite a lot about, or I see around a lot on like Instagram and stuff, and just has like a beautiful cover, and it's blurbed by Stephanie Garber on the back, so of course I was like, well, maybe I'll probably love it. And that's Everless by Sarah Holland. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what this one is about. I know it's fantasy, and I think it has royalty in it, which of course for me is like sold. Paperback, super cheap on Book Outlet, so I really wanted to grab a copy of this one. Okay, these next two actually go together, and I figured I might as well just buy them at the same time during this sale, because if I like one, then I'll probably like the other one. And usually I just want to fly right through a series. The first one is Burning Glass by Catherine Purdy? Why do I always pronounce these names wrong? Again, another fantasy series. Oh, actually. And then the second one I got was Crystal Blade, which is the sequel to Burning Glass. I love how these covers just match so perfectly. And like, they're gonna look so nice on my shelf. My shelf is like gonna totally become black spines because a lot of fantasy books have like really dark spines, which is fine, whatever. Anyway, I'm very excited to check out this series because it's fantasy and has like this concept that I'm not really familiar with about this girl. She can feel like emotional and physical feelings of those around her, and I just think that sounds like a really cool idea, so I'm very, very excited to check both of these out. Okay, and then the last one that I got in this haul was another one that I've heard quite a lot about, and I actually was not interested in because I really disliked the cover for it. I know like you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but honestly like 90% of these books that I bought because I was like, oh, I'm interested in the cover, and then I read the synopsis and I was like, that sounds excellent. But this one has been out for a little while, and I didn't read the synopsis for it because I was like, well, I don't really think I'm going to be interested in it, but it got a cover redesign for the paperback, and that's Girls of Snow and Glass, and this is by, bear with me on this name, Melissa Bashadust? I think I'm saying that wrong. She's also coming out with a new book next year, which I'm very excited about, and some people got arcs of at like YALLFest and stuff, and they said really good things about it already, so I'm very excited. But I really wanted to check out her first book first and see how it is, so I don't know, I'm just really, really excited about all this fantasy stuff because I've been loving this genre so much, and I just can't wait to read more in it. Okay, so you can't see it, but there is a huge stack of books right here next to the camera, and that is everything that I got in my book outlet haul. So now let's move on to the two that I got in my Amazon haul. So there's only two of these. We'll breeze through them super quickly. All right, the first one that I got was Assassin's Apprentice, and this is by Robin Hobb. I specifically wanted to get these covers because I just think they're so stunning and gorgeous and they all match together. So I had originally thought about getting the mass market paperbacks, but I was like, wait, no, these are beautiful. And these are actually the UK edition ones. And I don't know why, but I feel like the UK always gets way better covers than the US, and I'm very jealous. So I wanted to get this one specifically. I've already read this, loved it so much. Again, I mentioned it in my November wrap up and December TBR, so you can definitely check that out, all my thoughts in that video. And then the other one that I got was Assassin's Quest, which is actually the third book in the Farseer trilogy, which goes along with Assassin's Apprentice. I haven't read this one yet because right now I'm currently reading the second one, which is Royal Assassin, and I also ordered that one on Amazon, but that one's actually coming from the UK. These were in the Amazon warehouse, so I got them fairly quickly. I have to wait a while for the other one, so I got it from the library, but again, I just love how they match each other and they're gonna look so, so good on my bookshelves, so I'm very, very excited about both of these. Also, this is a massive book. Like, it went from this to this. Huge! Now I'm going to talk about the books that I got at the Scholastic warehouse, which I've mentioned in a lot of my older videos because I used to volunteer there more. I'm going to talk about it here briefly. You can kind of skip past this if you're not really interested, but basically the Scholastic warehouse is like regional warehouse where if you have a Scholastic book fair at your school, that's where the cases are filled and orders are like fulfilled from that warehouse, and every year biannually they have a sale, so it's like winter and summer they have a sale. You can go volunteer, you get paid in books, so it's like $20 in book vouchers, and then you can decide what books you want at the end of your shift. So that's how I got a lot of books in previous years, but I've kind of stopped going now because there's been just a lot of changes with like management and stuff. So I only did one shift this year and got a few books that I'm actually really excited about, so I'm just going to show you those now. By the way, I'll leave a link down below, a way to look up if there are Scholastic warehouses in your area, and then you can also sign up and volunteer. So one of the first ones I got was Geekarella, and this is by Ashley Poston. I've heard a lot of really great things about this actually, so when I saw that it was only like $4 or something, I was like, I'll totally get that. I think there's already actually a sequel out for this too, but obviously I wanted to read this one first. And lately I haven't really been into contemporary like romance reads, so we'll see if I actually enjoy this, but I think it has something to do with like cosplay and stuff, so hopefully I will enjoy it. And then another one I got that is kind of sci-fi fantasy-ish, and honestly I bought a lot because I just really like the cover, is Tarnished by the Stars, and this is by Rosie Thor. I also hear this has an ace main character, which is really awesome because I want to read more books like that. I was talking to someone about it on Instagram and they were saying that they really enjoyed this, so I'm really looking forward to this one too. And then another one that I got that I was so excited they had there because I've been wanting this one for a while, like ever since I heard about it first come out, is Truly Madly Royally, and this is by Debbie Regaud. I'm probably saying that wrong. I actually love any book that has royalty to do with it, and this sounds like something that would be like a Netflix movie, and I've been watching a lot of like Netflix Christmas movies recently that have a lot to do with royalty, and although this doesn't take place in the Christmas time, like Christmas season, I'm still really excited about it, so I can't wait to get to this one too. And then the crown jewel of everything that I bought at Scholastic Warehouse, with my volunteer dollars, was the fourth Harry Potter illustrated book. This is Goblet of Fire. I have gotten every single one of my illustrated books from the Scholastic Warehouse through my volunteering, so of course I had to get this one, and I'm just so happy to have it because it's so beautiful and so huge. Very, very excited to have this. Oh, actually, I totally forgot that I had a Barnes & Noble order that I wanted to show you guys, so let me grab that real quick. Okay, it's only one item, but it's actually 3 books, and I feel like if you've been following me on Instagram lately, you'll totally know what I'm talking about. But it's the Cruel Prince trilogy box set. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive hardcovers. I'm so excited to have these because I actually prefer these to the ones that like the publisher originally put out. I just really like the dark spines. I really like the dark covers, especially Queen of Nothing. It's just stunning. Like, look at that. It's so pretty. So I'm very excited to have these. So now I have a copy of this cover, and then I also have the originals. Okay, moving on now, I'm going to talk about the books that I got from my local used bookstore. They also had a Black Friday sale where every like children's and YA book was $1. All of the mass market paperbacks were $1. I think the most expensive book that they were selling was $3, so I got 8 books for $8, which is an excellent deal. Why does everyone want to text me when I'm filming? Okay, so the first two books kind of go together and were ones that I really wanted to get because I really love this author, and I've actually already read one of these, but like a long time ago. So that one is Beauty by Robin McKinley. If you haven't read Robin McKinley, oh my gosh, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like, go and read her stuff. It's all like fairy tale retellings. I know she has a series about dragons, which is really amazing. Again, I read these like a really long time ago in, I think, even elementary school, because I just have this like really clear image of me sitting on the couch like reading one of these at a family gathering or something, and I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to read my book about dragons. But Beauty is one of my favorites. I think almost like my absolute favorite of all the ones that she's written, and there's like sort of a sequel to this one, but I can't remember what it is. Again, I'll put a picture here of it, of the sequel. But I would definitely start with Beauty, especially if you're really into Beauty and the Beast retellings like I am. They're kind of like my little pet project. Mostly because I did my undergraduate thesis on like sort of Beauty and the Beast and how it's aged over the years and if it's like become feminist and stuff. But anyway, yeah, totally check this out. So I got this one for $1. And then I saw another one there that was also by her, and actually I don't think I've ever read this one before, and it's called Sunshine. And I guess this one's about vampires, which I haven't read a vampire book in a really long time, but like Renee Adia just came out with a vampire book. This is about vampires, so I'm like, maybe vampires will like make a comeback into my life. Like, that's sort of fantasy, so I'll have to try it out. This book is actually really thick too, so maybe this will be another one that I listen to on audiobook. Okay, so the next ones that I got, everything I feel like you'll see kind of has a theme. The theme is fantasy. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. Okay, so these next ones I got were actually ones that I found at the very last minute before I went to the register. I had this huge stack of books in my hand, and one of the girls that was working there was like,
do you want us to put this on the counter for you so like we can start a hold for you? And
I was like, you know what? No. If you do that, I'm just gonna keep picking them up. And then when I was checking out, I was telling the guy, I was like, you know what? I am like forcing myself to stop because otherwise I'm gonna buy so many. But these I had to get because my boyfriend and I had been talking about them, and I was just really excited to find them. So the first one is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This is by Oliver Bowden. I actually saw these on Book Outlet for their sale, but I was reading the reviews on Goodreads and they're not very good, which I think is pretty interesting. I've actually never played the Assassin's Creed games, like none of them, but I've watched a lot of playthroughs of them on YouTube, mostly from Two Best Friends Play because I used to really like them. I'll leave a link down below for what I'm talking. Oh no, I can't leave a link because they took down all those videos, which sucks. Never mind. Well, if you remember Two Best Friends Play and their machinima like playthrough things, oh my god, those were so funny. So good. Anyway, so Black Flag I know is about pirates, and I used to be obsessed with pirates when I was younger, so I'm very excited to check these out. And my boyfriend and I have been talking about this because he has played the Assassin's Creed games, some of them, so I wanted to read these and then let him know if they were any good. So this one I picked up for $1 as well. And then the other one I got was Revelations, which I think is, it's based in like the Ottoman Empire, but it's in Italy or something. It's the one with Ezio. Honestly, I can't really remember, but I'm very excited about this one too because there's something about like a lost library, and I mean, I love to read, so why would I not love that? Okay, the next one I got was one that I actually almost bought another time that I was at this used bookstore, but then I was kind of like, nah, I'll just wait, and then it was $1 on their Black Friday sale, so I was like, I'm gonna get it now. And that's Prince of Fools. This is the first book in the Red Queen's War, which is by Mark Lawrence. Heard really good things about Mark Lawrence. He apparently writes really good fantasy, and since this is the first book in the series, then I definitely want to check this out and just try it out and see how it is. Probably, again, we'll listen to this one on audiobook. Okay, these next three, I had never heard anything about them, but they looked all like brand new, so I was like, okay, well, I'll totally get them because they're only $1. So the first one I got was Path of Fate. This is by Diana Farrow Francis. In this one, it's about a land where you bond animal to animal, and then you do this for life, but I guess this girl, oh, she decides that she doesn't want to do that, and everyone is like, what? Like, so there's just chaos and everything that ensues. But I'm really excited about this one. Again, because I want to read more fantasy that's written by women, so yes. Another one that I picked up was Cast in Courtlight. This is by Michelle Segarra. This is the Chronicles of Elantra. Again, the first in a series. This is about, oh, it's about a girl that her healing magic can heal the king's heir or something like that, and she's like the only one that can do it. I'm hoping there's like a little bit of romance in this because that sounds really intriguing, so I'm very excited about this one. The last one I got was Among Thieves. This is the first tale of the kin. This is by Douglas Hulick. On the front says, honor can get you killed, and he looks like a pirate, so I was like, well, I love pirate stories. It's just better if I read it from the back. There's a book, a relic any number of deadly people seem to be looking for, a book that just might bring down emperors and shatter the criminal underworld. So that sounds really awesome and intriguing, so I'm very excited about this. Again, first in a series, and it was only $1, so I figured even if I don't like it, I can sell it back to them or just donate it to one of my other local used bookstores, so I'm very excited about this. So that's everything that I got recently within the last like month and a half. I clearly have a lot of reading to do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know why, but in my last book outlet haul, there was like an explosion of views on that, so I guess you guys really like these videos. But if there's anything in particular you're looking for, especially with the new year coming up, I'd like to be a little more interactive with my filming, definitely let me know. And I would just want to say a big hello to all my new subscribers, because again, my subscribers has just been growing quite rapidly and I don't really know why. So hello if you're brand new here, or if you've been watching forever. Hi, it's good to have you back. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, you can find me down in the links below on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. You should totally follow me there because I have like exclusive pictures and content and things that I talk about and rant about. But otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!